Will you, it's the fucking PC police! Boycott the BBC! Make sure you don't watch any of their programmes until they get rid of this actress.
So, okay, Jodie Whittaker, for those of you that don't know, it has been announced as the 13th Doctor, and I'm quite surprised I didn't actually think they would go for a woman. That sounds very sexist. I don't mean it like that. I didn't expect them to cast an actress in the role of the Doctor. I really expected them to play safe and go for like a guy maybe somewhere 30s, mid-30s, pretty boy, something nice to look at, you know, for the mums, and give it a companion, you know, with a short skirt, you know, what a dads. And the kids would be like, yeah, that's Doctor Who, and he'd just be another bloke. That's not to say I wouldn't have liked a guy to take up the role again. It's just that you have to keep the show different. Like when it went from Christopher Eccleston to David Tennant, that was a bit different. When you went from David Tennant to Matt Smith, it felt to me personally, it was a little bit stagnating. So when we got Peter Capaldi from Matt Smith, that was quite a drastic turnaround in my opinion, because you wouldn't really have guessed that the showrunners for a modern take on Doctor Who would have been that keen on a man who's quite on his way of reaching retirement age. And I mean that with all the love in the world, but Peter Capaldi was already older than William Hartnell was when he took the role, I think. I'm not sure, I didn't do my homework on that one. So, I think that with Peter Capaldi being an older man in the starring role of Doctor Who, it made people more willing to accept probably someone different, something else. And with all the groundwork they've been building up towards with this, you know, say, starting with throwaway lines for like Neil Gaiman and the Doctor's wife saying like, the Doctor's old friend, was it the Cavalier? Something like that. Something middle-agey. And he was a renegade Time Lord, or sometimes she was a very renegade Time Lord. You know, lines like that built it up, and then we had Missy showing up out of the blue, and we were all like, are we gonna have this explained to us? Are they gonna give it a reason why specifically the Master regenerated into Missy? But then they went with, you know, heaven sent, hell bent, having Ken Bones, a man, you know, in his 40s, something like that, I think, I'm guessing. I don't know Ken Bones that well. Legit just regenerating into a woman of, yeah, well, a woman of colour with short cropped hair, you know, identical to basically what Ken Bones had, except he was a little bit more bald, I think. So I think that with that, you know, building it up in the universe around it, like systematically, slowly, and with the casting of Peter Capaldi, the next Doctor could have been anything. They could have done anybody, anywhere, anytime, giving themselves more freedom. That's good, because Jodie Whittaker, for those of you that don't know, she's been in Broadchurch, and I really liked Series 1 and Series 3 of Broadchurch. If you'd like to know more about that, I'll put a hot link at the end of this thing. And she's been in Attack the Block, and that's a movie with Nick Frost, and it's hilarious. And what's his name? John Boyega is in it, you know, from Star Wars fame. And it's a decent comedy alien. I'd say like it's in the idea of Shaun of the Dead, but then with aliens, but not quite as, you know, playing with the tropes of it. So here's those things. If you want to know more about Jodie Whittaker and you haven't seen her or anything, watch Series 1 of Broadchurch, you know, because it's mostly about her family that has to deal with, you know, the tragedy of what goes on in Series 1 of Broadchurch, or watch Attack of the Block. Attack the Block, I don't know. I should have my phone around here somewhere, but that's bad. As a third thing, she's done theatre opposite Christopher Eccleston. I have to thank the miracles of Twitter for this. I'm gonna link that as well at the end. Have a look at that. She's opposing Christopher Eccleston in a Shakespeare play, and she's, you know, bringing it. Like you could see the Doctor saying something like that, except it's in a very heavy Yorkshire accent. I wonder if Jodie Whittaker is gonna keep a Yorkshire accent, because David Tennant has his natural Scottish drawl, but then he, you know, let that slide, and he played the Doctor in like a Middle English kind of accent, which is too bad, because, you know, you used to have a little bit more play with that. I mean, lots of plans have a north and all that. So I'm just wondering if she's going to be like, I'm from Yorkshire. Can't even do that. People from Yorkshire, I love you. Okay, so I'm really fine with the casting of Jodie Whittaker. I'm actually quite excited that it's going to have a different take. I'm quite fearful of a couple of things. I don't want any boob jokes. I don't want her to cross her arms at one point and be like, these things get in the way. Because, well, why would the Doctor just all of a sudden start crossing his arms like he's a mean old person, or she's a mean old person? The second thing I'm actually more worried about is the writing approach with Chris Chibnall, and he's deciding to do a board or a group instead of, you know, having individual writers for an episode. That's actually a bigger concern of mine than the casting of Jodie flipping Whittaker, who, you know, is a good choice, because who knew David Tennant, who knew Matt Smith, who knew Tom Baker as an actor before they took on the Doctor? Very few. So maybe that's good. Maybe this just gives her a little bit more freedom, because imagine Tilda Swinton coming down from Cloud 9 and, you know, having a go. People would be like, but that's not how I wanted you to play the Doctor, because you paint an image in your head how you want something to be, and sometimes the fantasy build-up is a bigger letdown than what the actual show could deliver to you. And yeah, that's about it. I'm not sure if how long this is. So I was gonna do something else for today, but you know, the Wimbledon thing kind of caught me off guard. I'll see you soon, and you know, do all the good stuff. Normally I'll say, like, insult me in the comments down below, but I'm 100% right on this, because I'm the one making a video and you're not. As long as you don't have a video where you're saying that Jodie Whittaker is the worst choice, well, there you go. Anyway, can Gwendolyn Christie have a turn next? Or is that too much to ask? Seek out social medias everywhere. Like, comment, subscribe. I really don't like saying that like I'm an automatic. You should do everything out of your own volition. And now it's the long wait till December.